at MISA Zimbabwe, we are mainly in the business of media law reform and advocacy, mainly focusing on issues of freedom of expression, access to information, and media freedom. MISA was born out of the Windhoek Declaration in Windhoek, 1991, and the Zimbabwean chapter was then born in 1996, and since then we have been on the forefront of advocating for the 5 program areas that were in constant engagement with the stakeholders. The first program area being the freedom of expression and access to information, the second one being campaign for broadcasting diversity, the third one being media monitoring, the fourth one media support, and the final one being media capacity building. And I think the road has been long since 1996, which we had the longest house constitution, which mainly implied media freedom through section 20, but it did not have explicit guarantees for media freedom, as it gave everyone the right to freedom of expression. But today we have done great work and seen the new constitution guaranteeing section 61, 62, media freedom and access to information respectively. I think we are also part of the family of 11 chapters in the region, which speak on the coherent voice of freedom of expression, access to information, and media freedom. By and large, this is what we say. How secure is expression in general? Before we go to media freedom, expression is a facet of our existence, because it cuts across the media divide and also include citizens, by and large, offline and online. How free are they to express? I think it is now a reality that the media regulatory environment is quite restrictive and undemocratic, in that the laws that used to support the longest house constitution are still active, and they are in violation of the new provisions of the constitution. These laws include Access to Information and Protection of Privacy Act, Broadcasting Services Act, Interception of Communications Act, Censorship and Entertainment Controls Act, Official Secrets Act. There are so many, you can compose a song out of them. And these are designed to ensure that freedom of expression is very difficult, because of the threat of a hanging legislative burden on everyone's head. And zooming it to the media, it is an imperative that when you want to practice the industry of journalism in Zimbabwe, you have to be brave. Why? Because these laws I have articulated have been used at different intervals to make it very difficult to practice the industry of journalism, more so when we are headed towards an election. In 2016 alone, as Media Institute of Southern Africa, we recorded a total number of 31 cases of harassments, arrests, the destruction of media products, or some political factions just destroying newspapers, threatening journalists through legal and extra-legal means. You also had soldiers arresting journalists while they are covering protests in the CBD. So these types of harassments are structured because they are being overseen by state arms, and those that are of political alignment. And we believe that this is an increase from 2015, for example, when we recorded only 10 cases of such harassments, arrests, and detentions. We always predict that ahead of an election, it becomes the media becomes soft targets of abuse by political parties, by the government, and given the restrictive nature of our laws, it will be on an increase. So by and large, the general fear is that as we go towards an election, there will be an increased attack on the industry of journalism, on the journalists themselves. These cases I have alluded to, it was irrespective of the fact that these journalists produced identification cards from the Zimbabwe Media Commission, which is supposed to be a protection tag. Once you see that this is a journalist, you must respect and uphold the constitutional provisions that they are free to practice their enterprise without harassment. So ahead of elections, not only political reporting, but reporting in general becomes an endangered species. So journalism will be reporting in the line of fire as we go towards an election. We have seen it before the previous elections, and this one, given the stakes at play, it is highly likely that there will be an increase in the number of attacks and targeting of the media.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.